Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks so much for joining me in this live stream. All right, we've got a lot to talk about yet again. More things are changing around Social Security. Huge shock. Are you surprised? Not really, right? A lot of things have been changing so far, and I want to spend some time with you here on this live stream and talk about the announcement that came out today, the new appointment for a high-ranking Social Security official, what the new job is for that person, as well as maintaining the Social Security acting commissioner role. Again, very strange. We've never seen anything like this before, as well as some other major disruptions to Social Security. A lot of things going on right now. All right, anyway, let's talk through the details one piece of data at a time. And by the way, if you're joining me live right now, first off, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate this. It is a nutso time right now, as you always know, because I say this all the time. October, where we are right here, right now, is by far the most important and influential month of the entire year when it comes down to Social Security, simply because we get a pile of data that comes out. But this year, maybe a little bit different. Anyway, we'll come back to that here in just a minute here. We've got a lot going on. All right, anyway, let's talk about the information hot off the wire just not that long ago as far as what's going on with the acting commissioner of Social Security. The change, the announcement that came out of the Treasury today, what this means, we're going to talk through it. Okay, so Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent came out today and announced that the new, or I shouldn't say the new, the acting commissioner of Social Security, Frank Bisignano, who's been there since, I think he was appointed in, or sworn in, I should say, by the Senate in June of this year. I believe it was in June. Could be off a little bit there, but anyway, he's only been in the role for a few months now, but Frank Bisignano is also going to be what? Yes, the newly created CEO of the IRS. That's very weird. It's very weird. I'm just going to say that much. Generally within federal agencies, they don't have a CEO role, right? They generally have like an acting commissioner role, or they have some other title. Generally, the title of CEO, Chief Executive Officer, is generally used for like, you know, publicly held companies and like private companies, stuff like that. It's generally not for a federal entity, but the IRS just created a CEO position. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Anyway, so now the acting commissioner, Frank Bisignano, within Social Security, he will have two high-ranking positions. Now, we're going to talk about this in more detail because I don't know. Does this sound a little bit fishy to you? Just let's talk about this a little bit more, okay? So we've literally got the acting commissioner of Social Security, okay, Frank Bisignano. You know this, okay? He's going to maintain that position. Now, announced today, again, by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Frank Bisignano is also going to be the CEO of the IRS. I don't know. Drop your comments down below. Let me know. Does that seem a little bit weird? The same person running both of these, okay? Same dude running Social Security and the IRS. Does anything about that sound a little bit weird to you? Sounds weird to me. We've never seen this in the history of this country, at least that I'm aware of, that the acting commissioner of Social Security is also running the show over at the IRS. I don't know. Something about that seems a little weird to me. Just saying, okay? Maybe I'm just a freak. That's probably the truth. But I'm just saying, I don't know. Something about that just seems a little bit odd. But that's just announced today, okay? To be fair, though, Frank Bisignano will be working under Scott Bessent, who will remain as acting commissioner of the IRS. So technically, Frank Bisignano as the CEO, which generally is at the top of the food chain for any like publicly traded company or private company, something like that, CEO is generally the top of the pyramid, right? When you think of like who runs the show at any, you know, large corporation, something like that, you generally think CEO, Chief Executive Officer, right? But in this case, the newly created CEO position within the IRS is actually going to be sitting one position below the acting commissioner of the IRS, Scott Bessent. So he'll be directly reporting to Scott Bessent, okay? I don't know. Again, seems odd. Drop a comment down below. Let me know. Does that sound odd? Does it sound fishy? I don't know. Something about that just doesn't really add up to me, but I'm just saying this is what was announced today, okay? So anyway, what does this mean for Social Security? Well, I don't know. I mean, we could sit here and speculate all kinds of things like, I don't know. Are they going to try to like merge these two together at some point? Are they going to try to, pull something with this? Again, I'm not going to sit here and speculate and say, oh, they're trying to pull something that's weird. It seems odd, as you heard me voice many times so far, but it would seem like, they're just trying to look for a high-ranking official to basically take this position. And apparently Frank is the person to be that guy. So this is what it's going to look like for now. Okay. So anyway, that's that. Now, they've also made it very clear that they're going to be digitizing both of these government agencies. Okay. IRS, Social Security. And again, this is no shock whatsoever. We've known this for many months now. This comes as no surprise to anybody. We've known this very, very clearly for quite a while, that digitizing Social Security, making things more automated, implementing AI into Social Security, and getting things to be like I said, more automated and basically held and what's the word I'm looking for, taken care of, for a lack of better term. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the word that I want to use. Basically getting this to be handled by like bots, AI bots, automated systems, things like that. Okay, so very interesting. That just hit the wire today. Okay, now that's that. Now let's talk about some other things that are going on right now. Okay, so today, right here, right now, as I host this live stream, Monday, October 6th, right? So we're now 6 days into the government shutdown. Let's talk about this for a couple minutes here, okay? As of right now, it appears that there is no progress whatsoever on reopening the government at this point. Now, obviously, last week, the Senate came together. They voted again. It failed one more time. Apparently, they're coming together again this week. They're negotiating today. They're doing all kinds of different things. I'm going to say this much. It's all for show. It's all for show, okay? So anyway, that's what it looks like to me based on right now as far as what they're looking like. Now, if we continue to look at all the data behind all this, what's going on, whatever we're seeing out there in the headlines, everything that I'm reading about this right now, it appears that this government shutdown is likely going to last at least minimum of a couple weeks. What that means is the government shutdown is likely going to extend into probably mid to late next week, possibly beyond that. I would anticipate it lasts until the end of next week at the earliest. That's my best guess at this point. Here's why. It's not just me pulling random dates out of the air and being like, well, I think it's going to be this. This is my opinion. Who cares about my opinion? But the reason that I say that is because of this. Next week, we get the inflation data point, okay? September's inflation data. We know, as I've been saying for a while now, that the inflation data has been coming in not exactly all that great. In other words, what I mean by that is that, what do they want? They want lower inflation. At least that's what they say they want. They want lower inflation, but their actions are leading to higher inflation, right? And we know that over the last few months here with the data coming in, we've seen prices increasing. We've seen inflation moving higher. We've seen all these data points moving the opposite direction of what they really want. Now, remember, last week on Friday, so last Friday, October 3rd was the date, okay? So just a few days ago, we were supposed to get the jobs data out on Friday, right? September's jobs data didn't happen. Why? With the government shutdown, BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, who releases this very important data that we need, made it very clear a few days earlier in the week, before the government shutdown actually took place, they made it very clear, in the event of a government shutdown, we're not going to release data. Okay, well, as I've been saying for a while now, it seems that this is part of the playbook. This is absolutely part of the playbook. Shut the government down. Economic data is bad. We don't want to release the economic data. We don't want everybody to see the bad economic data. So what should we do? Shut the government down, and then guess what happens? BLS doesn't release the data, right? Do you follow all this? Okay. So we didn't get the bad economic, jobs report from last week. We don't know if it was good or bad or indifferent. We don't know, but we can anticipate based on the data leading into that it was likely going to be a bad report. It was likely going to be a bad jobs data report. We don't want to see that, or I mean, that's not what we want to see for a strong, growing, robust economy, right? We want to see strong job growth, and we're not going to see that. We were likely going to see downward revisions. We were likely going to see an unemployment rate moving higher, and we were likely going to see more jobs being lost. And being forfeited essentially to AI, and just layoffs across the board. Not good. It's not what we wanted to see. Opposite of what we wanted. Now, the big point behind that as well is that next week we get the inflation data point, as you heard me just say a couple minutes ago. The reason that that's so important, again, there's a high likelihood that we see prices moving higher for the month of September. Obviously, here we are still in October right now, but next week would be giving us the inflation data for the month of September, right? September's inflation data. Well, the numbers, the speculations, the data suggests that the inflation number would likely be coming in higher inflation from the month of September, right? And again, they don't want us to know that. They don't want us to see that. So if they continue to keep the government shut down, they're basically suppressing BLS and the release of any data. Therefore, we don't get it. Is all this making sense? Okay. So that's why I said a couple minutes ago, I anticipate this government shutdown to last probably until the end of next week. They could come together and they could get an agreement to reopen it. Absolutely. They could easily do that. It could happen this week. It could happen today. Maybe. I doubt it. I'm just saying. That's just my speculation on that. I could be totally wrong with all this, but it seems to me, based on everything I'm researching, based on everything I'm reading on this, that's just what it's looking like, because they don't want this data to be released because it's not looking all that great. Okay, just to be fair. Now, why do we care about all this? And why am I going off on a rant talking about all this stuff that some of you here in the community may not care all that much about? Here's why we care. This next data point is actually the one that matters possibly the most. The reason is Social Security needs this last inflation data point in order to calculate all the data we're going to be getting out of Social Security that is supposed to be released literally moments after the inflation data is released. Social Security is also supposed to be releasing the announcement on like a dozen different updates for 2026. They all come out literally like at the same time. Okay, so this is how it happens every single year. If you haven't been watching the videos on the channel for a while now, if you have or you haven't, here's how it happens. I'll just tell you. This is what happens every single year. The middle of October, September's inflation data is released. Literally like a minute later, like literally a minute later. It's maybe not even a minute later. It's like virtually at the same time. As soon as the inflation data is announced, like a minute or less later, Social Security announces a ton of announcements, like probably a dozen different announcements, all of which are the new updated figures for 2026, including the COLA. That's a big one right there. They also include the different dollar amounts for the earnings test for retirees, as in those individuals that have filed for the benefit prior to the full retirement age, the individuals that will be achieving their full retirement age that year. They're going to be updating all that. The new earnings limits for SSDI, blind and non-blind. They're also going to be updating the maximum taxable earnings cap, as in other words, how much money is taxable or income is taxable by Social Security payroll taxes. Again, the list goes on and on, all of it. The thresholds in which somebody needs to earn each individual quarter to get their 4 credits for the year to earn Social Security retirement benefits at some point in their life, right? All of that is released literally within a minute or so after the inflation data is released, okay? But here's the problem. Based on what's going on right now, and based on all the information I just shared with you, and based on where we're at right now, it looks like we may still be in a government shutdown when all of this data, as in, when I say all of this data, as in inflation data, is supposed to be released. That means if the inflation data is not released as it's supposed to be next week, that means no inflation data means no announcements out of Social Security. Nada, none. We don't get any updates on that, at least until they come forward and they reopen the government from the shutdown. BLS is back in operations, and then they throw all that data out there that allows Social Security to calculate that last inflation data point, along with the other 2 data points that we got over the last couple months in the middle of September and in the middle of August, when we got July's and August inflation data. We need 1 more data point. Remember, I've been saying this for months now. We need 3 data points: July, August, and September. And September's just so happens to be released next week. Does all this make sense? Right? So we may be delayed. Now, I dug into this a little bit further because I thought, has this ever happened before? To my knowledge, up to me doing research on this, I was like, I don't think this has ever happened before. It happened one other time in the history of this country. There has been a delay of the release of the inflation data, which also delayed the announcement of the Social Security COLA. Other than that, we've never seen a delay like this ever to this information being released. Does that kind of make sense? So we are in a very interesting time right now, for sure, right? A very, very interesting time right now, for sure. So, you know what I mean? Are you confused yet? Exactly, right? I've had a lot of people reaching out over the last, I'm just going to say 5, 6, 7, 8 days or so. I mean, let's just say the last week, give or take a couple days. I've had a number of you here in the community reach out in the comment section. I've seen your comments. I've been trying to respond to as many as I possibly can, which is also why I want to throw some Q&A here in this video. So in just a couple minutes here, I will jump into the comment section. We'll spend a bunch of time together, whatever it takes. I'll answer a bunch of your questions for you and talk through all the details. Now, one common question that I did see coming up, and I just want to answer this really quickly. It may even be in the chat right now. I had a few people, I'm not going to say a bunch. I don't know how many people, maybe 10 people or so, give or take a little bit, out of like 1,000 comments over the last, say, week or so, give or take a little. I saw maybe 10 or maybe a dozen or so people that reached out and said, if we don't get the announcement, does that mean we don't get a raise? No. Okay, that's not how that works. We will still get it eventually. We just don't know when that's going to be, right? So whenever we do eventually get the announcement, whether that comes out on time or whether it's delayed by a day or 3 days or a week or 3 weeks or 3 months, if it's delayed by 3 months, that means we're still in a shutdown in 3 months. That's not going to be a good situation, okay? I don't think it's going to last that long. I wouldn't be shocked, though, if it's another 2 weeks or so until we actually do get the government to be reopened, just to get past these critical information data points that are going to be released here again next week, okay? But anyway, to answer that question that some people have been reaching out asking and very concerned about is that if we don't get the announcement, does that mean we don't get a raise? No, that's not what that means. Okay, we will still get a COLA. We don't know what it's going to be yet. By the way, I had a video out maybe, I don't know, a week and a half ago probably, and I gave you my best estimate based on the data that came out. And where I'm at right now, if I have to put an exact figure on it, okay, some people want to know, what's your exact figure? Like, what is it? Don't give us a range, give us an exact number. This is my estimate. I just want to say this very clearly. This is not the official announcement right now. I'm just going to say this is my best estimate right now. 2.8%. That's where I'm at. It could be higher. It could be lower. But if you said, give me one number, that's my number, 2.8%. Let's see if I'm right or if I'm off by a little bit. But the range, if you want to know the range, if you didn't see that video from a week and a half ago or so, give or take a couple of days, my range right now is between 2.7 and 2.9%. That's my range, okay? But my solid one number, 2.8%. That's where I'm at, okay? So the only way we're going to see it significantly above that, significantly below that, is if we see a ton of inflation in the month of September, or we see minimal inflation in the month of September, bringing the average down from July and August. Because remember, the 3 data points that we need from the third quarter are averaged together and then plotted over the same time period from last year. And the difference of inflation is called the COLA for the following year. A massively lagging number. No wonder why the COLA falls behind every single year, because it's massively delayed. It's a really bad way to calculate the COLA. I'm just saying, okay? You probably heard me say that before in other videos. I've made that very clear. I've voiced my opinion on that many times over the last several years that I've been talking about this. The COLA is great. Don't get me wrong. Love the COLA. It's massively outdated, number one, and it does not reflect real price increases. Well, for a variety of factors, they're using bad metrics, but number two, the price increases are likely not even being accurately reported. And then number three, well, it's massively delayed. It's massively delayed. By the time fixed income beneficiaries actually get the raise from the COLA, we're talking like 6 months delayed at that point. We're already behind. We're literally already behind before we even get the raise. It's nuts. But anyway, you probably heard me talk about that before in other videos, okay? So there you go. These are a bunch of different topics that I wanted to cover for you here on this live stream. A lot of things that are going on right now. A lot of indecision, a lot of uncertainty, and a lot of people that are very just kind of curious, like, I don't know what's going on anymore. What is really happening out there? Yeah, again, keeping us on our toes this year, that's for sure, right? I'm not sure about you, but watching all this data that comes out, we get a huge big announcement, and then like 3 minutes later, they're like, just kidding, we're actually not doing that. And then like 6 minutes later after that, they're like, oh yeah, just by the way, we're going to do this other thing instead. It's all over the place, right? Yeah, you've seen me talking about it. You've seen all my videos, the live streams. I'm coming back all the time like, hey, they just said this. Oh, just kidding. They actually didn't say that anymore. Now they're walking it back, right? By the way, in that video this morning, for those of you that saw it, okay, I had a video this morning from another very common question that I've had over the last handful of days here. Remember, last week, Friday morning, I had a video for you. The president came out and announced $1,000 to $2,000 stimulus checks, or as he said it, to be exact, distribution or dividend payments to the people of America. Okay. So anyway, I've had a ton of questions. I mean, hundreds of questions about this, essentially all asking the same thing. What about Social Security? Or, do we need to file a tax return? All stuff like that. So I answered that for you in that video this morning. If you did not see that, watch that video. Good stuff. I broke down all the questions, the answer to that, and I gave reasonable, logical, and practical reasoning why I was giving the answers in that video. If you still want to know the answer to that, watch that video from this morning. I don't know how long it is, 12 minutes or something, 13, 14. I don't know how long it is. Maybe it's 15 minutes. I'm not sure. Anyway, I broke it all down in that video, and you can see it there. All right, anyway, I have my phone right here. Let's spend some time together. Let me know what I can do for you. Okay, drop some comments down below. We'll spend some time going through the chat box. If you're here live right now, drop a comment. Let me know. Anything you got that you're thinking about, questions you have, let me know. I'll answer those for you right now. I'll do my very best to get through as many as I possibly can. If I miss your comment, I apologize. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm doing my best here, okay? All right, anyway, I'm going to pull up the video, or the chat, I should say, sorry. It's going to take me a minute to get into it, and we'll roll with all this and see what I can do. Okay, hang on a second here. This is always the slowest part. I'll do my very best to get in here quickly and answer your questions. Okay, hang on. Okay, this is always slow. Well, more like I'm slow. Sorry, it's me, not this. Okay, here we go. All right, here it is. Susan S. Hello. Susan S. is waving her hands all around. Hello. Thanks, Susan S. I appreciate it. Oh, another quick side note. I want to throw it there super fast. So next week on October 15th, Medicare annual enrollment starts. Okay. And again, I know I talk about Medicare all the time. Why? It is so incredibly important. Here's the thing. I'm going to say this much. Over the last several years here, I haven't talked much about Medicare. Why? Well, number one, I mean, me aside, it's just like, I'm just kind of like me, right? Me, Medicare, like not that big of a deal, right? I was just kind of like, not all that concerned about it, whatever, for me personally, right? But last year when I helped my parents enroll in Medicare, I was like, oh, like this is way more important than like I've ever been given credit for, because it's just me. I'm just like, over the last several years, SSDI beneficiary on Medicare, I'm just like, I'm like kind of good, right? I'm like still kind of youngish. I'm like, I'm not really young anymore. I don't know. I feel kind of weird about it. But I'm just like, I'm kind of good, right? I like work out a few times a week and I feel like I'm healthy. I don't know if I really am or not. It's just how I feel. And I'm like, I'm kind of good, right? But when my parents enroll in Medicare, I'm like, oh, okay. This is like actually really serious. Like this is super serious. When you have like, seniors enrolling in Medicare, I'm like, oh, like this is actually really, really, really important. And I'm like weirdly concerned about my parents, okay? So anyway, after that whole enrollment of Medicare last year with my parents, I'm like, okay, this has to be like way more important and like way more of a focus on this channel, because I haven't been giving it all that much attention over the last several years. And now after my parents enrolling as well, I'm like really seeing the magnitude and the severity behind the importance of Medicare, okay? My point being is this. Next week on Wednesday is Medicare annual enrollment. Yes, it opens up the one little teeny tiny baby window of the entire year that opens up one time. It opens one time for a few weeks, and they basically say, hey, seniors, come and get it. We've got a little window open for you for a few weeks, and 70 million seniors, come on in if you want some. If you don't want any, well then, watch out, because the window's going to slam shut. My point being with this is the one and only window of the entire year. Medicare annual enrollment opens up, okay? Next Wednesday is October 15th. It opens then, and it's open until early December. It's not that long. But anyway, this is the only time throughout the entire year where Medicare beneficiaries can come in and change their plans, enroll in a plan, switch from Medicare Advantage to original Medicare, from original Medicare to Medicare Advantage, get a Part D plan, whatever it is, get a new Medicare Advantage plan, get a new supplement plan, get a Medigap plan. If you missed your initial enrollment period, you can enroll now. If you missed your special enrollment period, you can enroll then. All kinds of things like this, okay? My point being is that even with the government shutdown, the Medicare annual enrollment period will not be impacted whatsoever, okay? Will not be impacted. I've had a few people reach out, not a ton, a handful of people that have reached out over the last few days saying, is this going to impact Medicare annual enrollment? Nada, no, okay? So thankfully, the tiny window that's opening up will not be minimized even more than it already is as far as the longevity of this window, okay? So anyway, by the way, you've seen that phone number. You've seen it many times on videos and all kind of live stream stuff like this. Phone number right here on the screen for you. They have access to the 2026 plans available now. Okay. My point with that is that if you have not done so, jump the line, call them before they get absolutely swamped. When annual enrollment opens up, I mean, I'm going to be fair with you. They're going to be like, OMG, our phone is ringing off the freaking hook, right? It's a good thing. It's a good thing because that means seniors are calling and getting reviews on their plans. It's a really good thing. But my point being is that annual enrollment starts next Wednesday, but they have access to the plans and they can look through them and see the plan options out there that are for you. You could call them now and be like, hey, just want to see what options I have. Just want to know. And they can look it up and be like, here's your best option and see what's available for you. And then when annual enrollment opens up, there you go, right? You've got it basically already determined and figured out for you, okay? So you're kind of like skipping the line a little bit, if you know what I mean. So anyway, phone number's there for you. As you can see, 100% for free. Give them a call. Thousands of people here in this community, by the way, have already called them. The average person, by the way, is saving $1,100, which I'm sure you've heard me say before 1,000 times before in the videos. It's nuts. It's a lot of money. People are literally having their lives changed because of how much money they're saving monthly and annually because of calling that phone number to get free help within 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes. It's absolutely incredible. I love it. All right, anyway, I love it because I like helping people save money. It's very exciting to me. I like it. Connie with my sister's table. Is that your name? Connie with my sister's table. That's funny. I'm not sure what that means, but you're saying hello. Thank you, Connie. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. I'm super sorry. Starts with an R and the last name starts with a D. I apologize. You say something like, you look like an old school Hollywood actor or something. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing. I don't know, but a lot of people say that I look like Steve Carell. That's the one that I get a lot. And then, so many years ago, this was back in, I don't know, like, oh my gosh, it was like 20 years ago now. It feels like a long time ago. It was like 2008 or so. I worked in a pharmacy for a couple of years, and I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just the time of my life then, but people thought I looked just like Tom Cruise. Like, it was weird, the number of people that came into the pharmacy, and they're like, you look like Tom Cruise. And I was like, me? You know what I mean? And I don't know. It just seemed very weird. But that was another big one that I got was that. That was like 20 years ago. So maybe I look very different now. I don't know. And Steve Carell is another big one. I get that all the time. You look like Steve Carell. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. I don't know. Here's the more weird part. I don't know what I look like anymore. Okay. That's like the weirdest part for me. Okay. Many of you here in the community know this. Blind, can't see. I literally, last time I saw myself was probably about 14 years ago. That was the last time I could probably look in a mirror and be like, oh, I look like that. I have no idea what I look like anymore. It's very weird to me. So very weird, right? It's kind of scary. I don't know. Like, I literally don't know what I look like anymore. The last image that I have of myself is like 14-ish years ago. I don't know. To me, that's very weird. Yes. Yeah, James Laura, if we can spend all this money, we can certainly help people on Social Security. 100% agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, Teresa Dara is saying something like, I just don't get this with all this government shutdown and all those people struggling, stuff like this. You'd think he'd want to throw out some stimulus. Exactly. That's why the president talked about it last week, right? And again, is it just a talking point where he's coming forward, stirring the pot a little bit, poking the beehive a little bit? By the way, don't do that. But you know what I mean? Like kind of getting people all rattled up a little bit, getting some attention, creating some news, something like that. I don't know. Certainly good at getting attention, right? I'm just saying. So I don't know. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, we're for sure getting something. And I'm not going to say we're not going to get something. I don't know. I find it to be very interesting. I say this all the time. I find it to be very interesting that this year, January until now, the president has already endorsed 3 different direct payments to us. He has personally endorsed 3 different proposals, ideas to send us money in the form of stimulus or rebates. 3. The first one was the $5,000 Doge dividend. The second one was about 2 months ago, give or take a little bit. The $600 rebate check. Okay. And now just last week, a couple of days ago, between $1,000 and $2,000 in the form of a distribution dividend rebate stimulus. Okay. 3 payments now that he has endorsed personally and backed up. So I don't know. I find that to be very interesting. Is it Jessius Bleen? I see you there. You're talking about getting new dental coverage. Yeah. Yep. I need to get better dental coverage. Yeah, exactly. Hey, if you're on Medicare, again, make sure to call them. Phone number's right here for you. Again, it's 100% for free. They're going to look through all the databases, the plans that they have, and they're going to find you the best option for what you personally need. It's massively, massively helpful. Okay, seriously, let them help you with that. Yep. Triple OG is that what it is? Triple OG. You said disabled people too. I've talked about a ton of different things here in this live stream so far. I'm not sure exactly what that's pertaining to. But yes, okay. I think pretty much everything that I've talked about so far does also pertain to disability people. Yes, exactly. So I hope that helps. I'm going to keep scrolling up. I'll probably come across your other comment eventually. I'm guessing there was more context to what this was about, but yeah. Nice. Linda Provencher. Yeah, you're very welcome. Nice to see you, Linda. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. Absolutely. James Lara, we need a stimulus check for $3,500. Wouldn't that be amazing? Absolutely amazing. That'd be awesome, right? That'd be awesome. By the way, I find this to be fascinating as well. These lawmakers are just a bunch of meatheads. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know, but I'm going to say it anyway because who cares? So here's what's super interesting. Okay, so obviously last week, I'm just going to go off on a little rant here for a minute, okay? So obviously last week, the president comes out and says, oh, we're thinking about a $1,000 to $2,000 distribution or dividend to the people of America, right? Interesting. Between $1,000 and $2,000, okay? So he did not definitively say 1,000. He did not definitively say 2,000. He said, we're thinking $1,000 or $2,000. Okay. Obviously anywhere in between, it could be more, it could be less, but something like that. Right. But super interesting. Okay. So now obviously the president is Republican. We know this, right? Okay. I'm not here to take sides politically. That's not what I do. I just give you facts in these videos. This was super interesting. So over the weekend, I saw a post. I'd have to find it again. I took a screenshot of it. It's on my phone somewhere. I have to find it. It takes me a little bit. There was a Democratic representative. I don't remember exactly who it was at the time. He made a post and said something along the lines of, we should give people $2,000 who have an income under $100,000. And I'm like, look at this. Look at this. Lawmakers, they're literally arguing about how much money they should give us. I literally pulled up the screenshot and I held it out to my wife and I was like, Corey, many of you here in the community know her. Over the weekend, I think it was on Saturday, this happened. Anyway, I took a picture of the X post, it was on X, and I took a screenshot and I held it out and I showed my wife and I was like, look at this. These lawmakers are literally arguing about how much money they should give us and what the income threshold should be. It's nuts. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. They're literally arguing about how much money they should give us. I was like, come on, keep arguing, you know? I'm like, they're literally taking the bait. They're literally taking the bait, and it's on our behalf. I'm like, go ahead, you know, keep bidding it up, please. Bid it higher. Yes, please do. All right. So anyway, I'm going to say this much. In my opinion, $100,000 as a cutoff for an individual to get one of these distribution or dividends from the president, I'm going to be honest with you. In my opinion, that is way too high, way too high. I would say this much. If it were up to me, which it's not, and who cares about my opinion, I should not even say this, but I'm going to. If it were up to me, what I would do is whatever the dollar amount that they're allocating. So let's just say of the tariff revenues, there's $350 billion coming in, right? Talked about this the other day. It's about $1 billion a day, give or take a little bit. It's a lot of money coming in, right? So what they want to do is take a portion of that and basically send it back to us in the form of a distribution rebate stimulus. Okay. So whatever that happens to be, 100 billion, 150, 200 billion, I don't know, whatever they decide. But I would say this much, take whatever that dollar amount is, rather than sending it out to people that have an income, say under 100 grand as an individual and 200 grand as a married couple, I would honestly say narrow that income threshold down significantly. Like maybe people with an income 40 to 50 grand or less and under as an individual. Like honestly, I would say this much, 40,000 or less as an individual, 80,000 or less as a married couple. Give them the money, right? And then guess what you can do? Because you've lowered the income threshold so significantly, that means the number of people that are eligible for it is also significantly lower in a good way, because only the lowest income people get it. Now, guess what? Now you could give people, say, 2 grand this month and 2 grand next month and 2 grand the next month after that. You're literally distributing the exact same amount of money, but to a significantly smaller percentage of the population. So the people that actually need it are taking that money and using it on things that they actually need, like necessities, food, groceries, rent, utilities, clothing, a car repair, gas, insurance, glasses, medical, whatever it happens to be, right? The money's actually being used for what it's supposed to be. Because here's the problem. If they do this and the income threshold is 100 grand, so you've got some person earning $100,000 getting a $2,000 payment, and a married couple earning 200 grand getting $4,000. Guess where that money goes? Just take a guess. You know where it's going to go. I'll tell you. It's going to go in 2 places. Stock market and crypto. Stock market and crypto. Why? Because they don't need the money. They don't need the money. So they literally say, we just got free money. What should we do with it, hun? You talk about Bitcoin, right? Why don't you buy some of that Bitcoin stuff you talk about? Okay, dear, I'll buy some Bitcoin because it's free money to them. Who cares? If they lose it, they don't care. That's not the purpose of stimulus. Stimulus is not to pump the crypto and the stock market. That's not what it's for. Stimulus is supposed to be used to stimulate the economy. That's literally what it's for, not to stimulate the market, right? All right, anyway, sorry. That was a long rant. Nice. Dragoncraft. Say, sorry to keep you waiting here. That was a long rant, but hey, thank you so much. Dragoncraft left a super nice message. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I'm glad that you enjoy these videos and glad that you get value out of these videos as well. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. That is very, very kind of you. I see your message there. That's awesome. Or, you know, I hear your message there. You know what I mean? Thank you. I really appreciate that nice message. That's very, very nice of you. Nice. Susan S. Yeah, you're very welcome. James Lara. James Lara, you're still funny. Thanks, James Lara. So nice to see you. Jessius Blaine says you need charts, dude. Yeah, I know. I wish. You know what I mean? I really wish I could do the whole side by side, the picture in picture thing that all the other people do. I really do. That whole thing on the fly live is honestly like a blind person's nightmare. Okay, at least for me anyway. Okay, to me to try to toggle between all that and do things right and like get the right stuff up on the screen at the right time, I'm like, oh my, that's like, yeah, that'd be just a disaster. Again, I totally get it. I really wish I could, but I'm trying to do what I can to compensate for that and give you as much value as I possibly can in these videos. And I'll spend whatever time it takes to hear in these videos, unlike the other people. And I'll sit here for hours if I have to and answer questions and do what I can to compensate for my lack of charts and stuff like that. So yeah, I totally get it. I wish I could. I've been trying to play around with some ideas. I don't know. But I'm just kind of like a one-man show here. Nice. Uh-oh. Nessie Carabile, is that what it is? Nessie Carabile, thank you so much for being here. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Nice. Carol Pack, hey, no need to apologize whatsoever. I totally get it. Yeah. It's a nuts time right now, isn't it? Yeah. Thanks, Carol. Nice to see you. Hope you're having a nice day so far. Jessius Blaine saying, what is the best dental plan if you're on Medicare Part A and Part B? I'm going to be totally honest with you. Call that phone number right there. Seriously, it's 100% for free. They will be able to look through the plans in your local area to see what options you have for what you need too. Okay. Remember, whatever plan that I need or somebody else needs for dental coverage is going to be very different than what you need. Not only that, what area you're located in is also going to have different offerings. Okay. So to say like, oh, what's the best plan for dental on Medicare Part A and Part B? I'm going to be honest with you. There's so many options. Your best thing to do, call that phone number. It's right there. Seriously, just give them a call and just, short amount of time, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. They'll be able to figure that out for you and see what plans are available in your area. And they'll do all of that for free. It's 100% for free. Okay. Just give them a call. By the way, after you talk to them, leave a comment. Let me know. Use the word chapter within your comment. Let me know, how does it go? And I'll continue giving you shout outs, things like that. And the reason I say that is because it's awesome to share with other people, like how much money people are saving and what's going on with it. It's incredible. Yeah. Nessie Carabile is waving her hands all around. Thank you. Love that. That's awesome. Thanks for being here. More waving hands, Nessie Carabile. Nice. Kit Kat waving her hands all around too. Man, Kit Kat, Nessie Carabile. They're all waving so many hands around. Thank you. Thanks for being here, all of you. Thank you. Susan S. saying hi to Linda. Janine, very interesting. Janine is asking, any idea why some accounts got minor deposits today? She said, I think she said this week. This week, she got $35. Good question. I'm not sure. I guess I'd be very curious. Did the money come from Social Security? Did it come from the Treasury? Like, who sent it to you, right? I guess I'm very curious about that. Obviously, don't give me any personal details. That's not my business. It's nobody else's business. I'm just kind of curious who sent it to you. But $35, heck yeah, grab that, right? That's like a quarter bag of groceries right there, right? That's like 4 products at the grocery store. Nice. That might be like a couple days worth of groceries, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, that's awesome. Yeah, Nessie Carabile, you're welcome. James, Laura, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, my mom cuts my hair. Thank you. Thanks, James. Nice. Joni Filia. Hey, Joni, nice to see you as always. Hope you're having a nice day. Thanks, Joni. Nice to have you here. Really appreciate you. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go back down to the bottom. I scrolled all the way to the top. So we'll start back at the bottom. I apologize. I know that I'm very, very far behind right now. Nice. Dennis. Okay. So Dennis called the phone number there. He's saying they can't help until after October 15th. They can look through the options to see what plans are available, like what the best options, things like that would be. So yeah, they can start offering reviews and stuff like that. But yeah, they can't actually change anything until the 15th. True. Yes, that's true. They cannot change anything until the 15th when annual enrollment actually opens up. But yeah, it's kind of like, just think of it this way. It's kind of like Black Friday, right? What do people do like the day before, 2 days before, stuff like that? They start lining up outside the store. It's kind of like what it's doing when you call them now. It's like getting in line, get in front of the massive herd of people that are coming in, right? So yeah. Yep. Nice. Whoa. Paula Noble. Wow, that's a lot of hands. Paula Noble is waving tons of hands around. Thanks, Paula. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Kevin Gallagher, I see you there as well. Thanks for reaching out. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Jessius Blaine, you said you hate calling people. That's okay. There actually is a website too. I'll give it to you. askchapter.org/B2B. So askchapter.org/B, like the letter B, the number 2B. Okay, it's a website. You can accomplish the same thing as by calling them, by going to that website. It's not as easy. It's going to take you a little bit more time. You'll answer a couple quick questions, things like that. But it should help you out quite a bit, and you can do that if you want to. So there may be, let's see. Yeah, there. No, it's not there. Here, let's see if I can do it right now. Askchapter.org/B2B. Hang on one second. All right, I think I just put it in the chat. I put the website down in the chat, I think. So anyway, there you go. That's it. That'll take you to essentially the exact same thing, the website version of that phone number there. Again, it's going to ask you a series of questions, things like that. But yeah, that might be helpful for you there, Jessius, if that helps. Oh, nice. Yeah, Jessius. Awesome. Yeah. Let me know how it goes. Seriously. They're there to help. Amazing team. Yeah. Very, very helpful people. Oh, nice. Nice. Legend Nebula. Nice. Nice to see you. Yes. From Tennessee. Thank you so much for checking in and really appreciate you. I see all the hands waving as well. Yeah, that's a common theme. I love it. Thank you. James Lara. No, nope. I don't practice Tai Chi. I probably should, because I am like not flexible at all. I can't even touch my toes. Right? It's embarrassing. Probably be a good idea though. I should probably start doing something like that. Yeah, Kevin Gallagher, again, I see you there. Thanks, Kevin. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. By the way, quick little recap here. Hey, if you're just joining us right now, you might be thinking, hey, you're just like going through the chat. This has nothing to do with the title as far as what you said this video is about. Okay, so let me just clarify just for a second here. Probably the first, I'm going to say like 15 to 20 minutes of this live stream right here, I did talk strictly about what is highlighted in the title of this live stream. So if you want to know exactly like, what is this dude talking about? Scroll back, watch this video, or the live stream, I should say, from the start. I would say like, again, probably the first 15 to 20 minutes. All I did strictly there was just go through a bunch of different things that are going on right now, announced today out of Social Security, some new appointments, some major changes that are hitting now, announced today out of the Treasury regarding Social Security, some other things around the government shutdown right now, and what we can anticipate this next coming week with the announcement of the inflation data and the COLA and the start of Medicare annual enrollment, all of these things like this, a lot of stuff. I covered that, again, probably in the first 20-ish minutes of this live stream. And then we got into the chat box, and I've been here going through comments, answering questions, whatever it happens to be. And that's what that's all about now. Okay. So once I get into the chat here, I basically just spend a bunch of time answering questions, whatever I can, just to provide as much value as I can to help those of you here in the community with whatever burning questions. I know it's a very uncertain time right now. I know that a lot of people are very concerned with this situation right now. And I just want to just continue to reinforce my commitment to you. It's just as I will be here for you no matter what. Okay. No matter what, help you out in any way that I can. Let me know. Seriously. Okay. James Lara, happy birthday. Yeah, she said, James Lara said, happy birthday, Corey. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. By the way, Corey probably wouldn't like me saying this. I'll say it. I really shouldn't say this. Corey turned 40 not that long ago. Yes, can you believe it? She just turned 40 just not that long ago. So anyway, huge happy birthday to Corey. Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna be in trouble when I get off of here. You can't believe you told everybody. No, she's embracing it. She's been very nice. Yeah. We're about the same age, by the way, in case you're wondering. Yeah. Jeremy Fling, thank you so much. That's very kind of you, Jeremy. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. So glad that you enjoy the videos and find these to be valuable. Thank you, Jeremy. Really appreciate it. I don't know what's going on. Sounds like there's like pounding. I don't like that. I don't know. I don't know if you can hear that. I feel like there's like pounding under me. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. That's awesome. Jessius Blaine can build anything. That's cool. That's a good skill to have. It's a very good skill to have. Thank you. Jessius Blaine, thank you. Yes, you watch the videos, you watch the channel because you can tell that I'm sincere. That's awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. I literally want to do what I can. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I don't like that. Okay. Maybe someone's building something downstairs or something. I don't know. Okay. Amonazi. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. Amozy, maybe. Hey, I see you there. I apologize. I know I'm saying your name incorrectly. I apologize about that. But yeah, thank you for being here. I really appreciate that. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate you being here. Nice. Jesse, yes. Get Corey to be my chart person. Yes, exactly. I have been playing around with the idea of getting a whiteboard and, doing stuff like that just because it'd be, a little more easier for me, like tactile. I could like write on it, but then my handwriting is super bad because I can't see what I'm writing. So it's like, I don't know if anybody could even read it in the first place, right? So I have some issues there too. Yeah, Kimberly Dahl. Kimberly Dahl is saying that the COLA is a joke and we don't really see anything as far as a raise to our benefit. We basically get zero. Yeah, I think you're probably saying that simply because of the increase to the Medicare Part B premium, which, by the way, as of right now, we still have not received the official announcement on the Medicare Part B premium increase, but it's projected to increase by $21.50. Yes, $21.50. That's nuts. 11.6% is the projection as of now. That's incredible, right? And not in a good way, incredible in a bad way. That's a huge raise. So we'll see. We don't know what it's going to be yet. That's just the projection as of now. I've been saying it. I've been talking about that for months. You know that by now. But yeah, that's, I think, what you're referring to. And I agree. That eats up a huge chunk of the COLA for most beneficiaries. Yeah, Linda, food, car, clothing. Exactly. Yep, you nailed it there. Linda, right on. I mean, that's literally exactly what people do. anytime, any type of money, stimulus, distribution, whatever it happens to be, food, car, clothing. Exactly. Necessities. Yeah, exactly, Linda. 100%. Legend Nebula. Awesome. Thanks for being here again. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, thanks for checking in. Yeah, Jessius, they need to do something. 100% agree. It's very odd. You're very welcome. Linda, thank you so much for the very kind message. I really appreciate that. Thank you for being here. I think, yeah, exactly. I think it's Kaylee. Kaylee, I could be saying your name incorrectly. I apologize, Kaylee. But yeah, you're talking about the Supreme Court needs to talk about the tariffs and see if they still stand, stuff like that. Yes, you're right. I could be off on this. Again, there's just been a lot of information hitting the headlines lately. I think they pushed the hearings out until January. Okay, I think originally it was supposed to be November, but I think they pushed it out until January now for the Supreme Court to hear arguments and things like that, basically testimony on the tariffs. So we have months on this. But yeah, if they do repeal the tariffs, we could be talking about hundreds of billions of dollars that would need to be repaid. Could you imagine that? That'd be bad. Yeah. Because here's the deal. They bring the tariff money in, they spend it right away. They don't like set it aside and be like, we're going to use this someday as like, we're going to hold on to this. No, they spend it right away. So if we all of a sudden overturn the tariffs and all of a sudden they have to pay back, $300 billion, ouch. Yeah, ouch in a big way. Chasing Scratchy Rose, is that what it is? I love the name. That's awesome. Chasing Scratchy Rose. Yeah, exactly. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. Nice to see you as always. Thank you. Yeah. Why lawmakers sit and argue and then we sit here and struggle. Exactly. That's kind of the name of the game, right? Exactly. Yeah. Don't love it, but that's unfortunately kind of what happens. Yeah. But thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Jeremy Fling, exactly. Living in hard times right now, multiple stimulus, and they could easily do that. They could easily do something like that for a smaller percentage of the population and a smaller group of people. They could easily do multiples. The problem is they're trying to appeal to everybody by giving a huge percentage of the population some kind of distribution, and then what happens is that way too many people get money, and then all of a sudden we see massive inflation and supply chain shock and supply chain issues and price appreciation called inflation, things like that, because they hand out too much money to too many people. If they use the same dollar amount but gave it out to a significantly smaller group of people and they spread that money out over the course of, say, like 2, 3, 4 months, something like that, with monthly or bi-monthly payments or distributions, we would not nearly see the impacts that they do when they say, let's hand out $350 billion this month to everybody. Cool idea, bad policy, because it's not what, it's not really what helps. I mean, yeah, obviously gives tons of stimulus to the economy very, very quickly, but then we have problems. Like what we saw a couple of years ago that we're still dealing with now, called massive inflation that still has not gone back down to the benchmark of 2% where they want it. Yeah, we're actually hovering right around 3% right now, a whole 50% higher than they want it to be. That's not good. Yeah, Patrica. Patrica. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Patrica. But yeah, you're saying Frank may be a little incompetent. How can he hold two positions, right? That's a good question. It's a really good question. I mean, seriously, 2 high-profile positions, right? I mean, he's not doing like low-profile positions. He's holding 2 very high-profile positions. The Social Security Acting Commissioner, big job, the highest title within Social Security, right? And then also the newly created CEO position, which I still find very weird within the IRS, right? Why does the IRS have a CEO? I don't know, right? That's just a very weird title for the IRS. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, totally agree. 2 high-profile titles within 2 massive government agencies. One, which is interesting, one collects money and the other one pays out money. That doesn't sound a little fishy to me, right? One is a collection agency, one is a distribution agency. Gee, we need a little money these days. We're trying to collect more. And my left hand collects money, my right hand distributes money. Gee, we're looking for a little more money these days. Maybe my right hand should feed my left hand. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just saying. It just seems odd. Nice. Kit Kat. Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks for being here. I probably missed you by now, but yeah, Kit Kat, thanks for being here. Happy whatever today is, Monday. Thanks for being here, Kit Kat. Yeah, Joseph Landry, you're very welcome. Thanks for joining us. Nice to see you. Hope you're having a nice day. Thank you, Joseph. Jessius Blaine, exactly, 100% correct. You said sometimes you need to change your plan. Sometimes there's cheaper plans to save money. 100% agree with you. Not only are there different plans to help save money, but not only that, plans that change every single year. I've been pounding out the table on this. In September, I did. Just last week, I had another video. These plans change so much every single year. It is nuts, okay? It is nuts how much these plans change and all the details of these plans. So the plan that maybe fit you perfectly for the year of 2025, obviously we're still in 2025, it may have been a perfect fit for 2025, but it may have changed massively for 2026, and it may not be a good plan anymore. That's why I've been pounding the table on this for so many weeks, and I keep saying, call the phone number. Seriously, call them and just let them look through your plan options. What is available in your local area? What do you personally need as far as coverages? What do you want for your preferences, your wish list? What do you need for your coverages? And just see what options do you have in your local area. It's so incredibly important. Just like you said, number one, the plans change. You could find a better plan at a cheaper cost. That could possibly be an option. You could find a better plan that's maybe the same cost, but covers you way more significantly. Maybe your medical situation has also changed. Again, a lot of these factors, why it's so incredibly important. Literally every single senior, every single person on Medicare, every single person needs to be calling that phone number. I mean, I know that sounds nuts, like, oh, that's like a lot of people, and there's just no way. Literally everybody needs to do that. It's so, so, so important. And who knows? There may be, of 70 million people, maybe 10 million people get, call and they say, you're already on the best plan for your situation. And they're like, fine, good. I'm already on the best plan. That gives me peace of mind going into the new year that I'm already on the best plan. But maybe the other 60 million people need to change their plan for a variety of reasons. It no longer properly covers them. You can find a better option at a better cost. Maybe, again, a million different reasons why. Maybe somebody's medical situation has changed and they need to get a better plan that is more consistent with their medical needs for the upcoming year. Maybe they foresee something coming up. Maybe they're going to, need a knee replacement next year or something like that. And they're like, hey, my current plan is not going to pay for that. I need to get a new plan that pays for my knee replacement, something like that. Again, I'm just making up examples, but you got to look out like a year or more to kind of figure out, what do I possibly foresee with my situation in the next year plus, to make sure that I'm properly covered and I don't get whacked with a huge, massive medical bill because I have the wrong plan. That's ugly. It can be very, very bad for a lot of people on Medicare if they don't have the proper coverages, and all of a sudden you get some huge medical bill rolling into your mailbox. It's a bad situation, right? All right, anyway. But yeah, exactly. I'm saying 70 million people, phone numbers right there. It's 100% for free, just like Jessius is talking about. Rebecca Gensler is saying, how do we get those rebates you're talking about? Very good question, Rebecca. As of right now, they're not available for the grabbing yet. Okay, I'm going to be 100% fair. They're not available for the grabbing yet. Okay, stay tuned. Let me keep you posted on this. The president literally just mentioned, well, the latest round of these just late last week. Okay, so this is still relatively new. Last week, I did have a video out where I talked through the details, as well as I did play a clip of the president speaking. It was only about a 1-minute clip of the president speaking, talking about how much they're thinking and just his current thoughts on this right now. Stay tuned. That's about what we know at the moment. Okay, I will certainly keep you posted as we get more information. Don't worry. I will be literally right here the second that hits the wire and I have a chance to dig into it and find, a couple credible sources on that. I'll be right here for you, breaking it down, letting you know where it's at, how we can get it, who applies, all the details like that when we get information. Yeah. So good question, Rebecca. I will certainly keep you updated on that. Yeah, Frank, I see you there, Frank. Yep. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, Frank. Interesting. Yeah. Legend Nebula saying you were watching on live TV and a reporter asked about stimulus and the person said, we'll see, or I think that's what you said. Oh, and the person said yes. So you're saying, let's see. Yeah, exactly. I'm curious who the person was that said yes. Was it the press secretary? What's her name? Caroline, I think it is. Yeah. I wonder if that's who it is. Anne Gavan. I hope I'm saying your last name correctly. Anne Gavan, maybe. Thank you, Anne Gavan. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I appreciate it. You're mentioning, yeah, the CEO running both departments seems a little fishy. Yeah, a little bit, right? Exactly. I agree with you, Anne. Jessius, that's awesome. You said you worked in construction your whole life. I like that. That's cool. Back in the day, I always wanted to be a carpenter. I thought that'd be super cool. And I was like, but wait, I don't really know. Like a blind person, like walking around and like building a house or something. I was like, I don't know. Something about that seems dangerous to me, right? So I don't know. I just think it's super cool. But yeah, building stuff is fun, right? Ryan Anderson. That's awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Ryan Anderson. I really appreciate you. By the way, the smell of wood to me, it smells really good. I love the smell of a new house. It just, I don't know, something about the smell of like raw wood is like really good. I love that smell. Yeah. Yeah, Susan S. Awesome. Susan S. Yes, very, very awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're also having a very nice day. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Apparently someone's calling me. I don't know. I won't answer it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, thanks, James Lara. You're funny. James, you're funny. If Mr. Magoo can do it, you can do it too. Thank you, James. You're very funny. Thank you. Yeah, Jessius, I totally agree with you. Yeah, I always find it so fascinating how fast a framing crew can put up a house. Like it's nuts, right? Like one day there's a foundation, and like 3 days later they have like this, 2-story house framed, and it's like, how did you do that so fast, right? Those guys are just pounding away, and like in no time at all, a crew of like 4 guys can put up like frame an entire house. I don't know. I find that to be super fascinating. I don't know. It's crazy. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool, right? Yeah. Yep. James Lara, fish and chips. Okay. Yeah. Legend Nebula. Awesome. Okay. So the press secretary said that Caroline, is it Lovett? Is that what her name is? Yeah, I don't think that's right, but yeah, that's her name. Yeah, Kevin Gallagher, awesome. Jessius, see you there again. Yeah, thank you. Rudy Valdez, I think it is. You're saying, can you call Social Security to change your number? Okay, this is going to be maybe an obvious question, but when you say change your number, do you mean your Social Security number or like what kind of number? Okay, again, I know that sounds like a ridiculous question. Like, yeah, come on, like what number do you think I'm talking about? What I would honestly say, if you have a My Social Security account on the Social Security website, that'd be by far your best resource to do that. Okay, it's a secure portal. You can do things like that there. issue a new Social Security card, stuff like that. So I would say if you have a My Social Security account on the Social Security website, for sure use that. That, in my opinion, would be faster. It'd be easier. I hope that helps you. Yes, Rudy. Yep. Gosh Shine. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. I see the birthday cake. That's awesome. Thank you for being here. Exactly, 100%. Yes, Kevin Gallagher is 100% correct. He said you will receive your money. 100% correct. Yes, in the event of this government shutdown persisting much longer, you will continue to get paid. 100% for sure. But yes, just like Kevin Gallagher is also saying, SNAP benefits, food stamps, EBT, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program will continue to arrive in the month of October. But if this government shutdown continues much longer, like into November, then maybe SNAP benefits actually could be delayed. Okay, if it persists into November, the shutdown, SNAP benefits could actually see some major impacts. Yeah, let's not worry about that right now, though. Don't lose sleep over that. Don't worry about that. Let's revisit this in like 3 weeks at the end of October. If we're still in a shutdown, then I would say, yeah, we might have to come up with some contingency plans and see where we're at that point. But right now, don't let it bother you. We're still only a few days into this. James Lara, yeah. James Lara is saying, wouldn't that be cool if they refunded your $6,400 back? I'd love that. That money's long gone. Yeah. I'm not counting on that anytime soon. Yeah. What James is referring to is back on August 8th. I remember it vividly. Yeah. I got an overpayment letter from Social Security. Okay. I had a video about this maybe like 2 weeks ago or so. I told my whole story about it. It's maybe like a 20-minute video, but yeah, August 8th, I got an overpayment letter from Social Security. I've been talking about overpayment letters for years, right? Yes, and I got one. It was just less than $6,400. It was like $6,393 and like 81 cents. I think it was I think that's the exact number to be exact. But anyway, yeah, got an overpayment letter, and over the course of maybe like 3-ish weeks or so, got the whole thing handled, paid it back. Not fun. But yeah, James is like, wouldn't it be fun if you got that $6,400 back? It'd be super nice. But I'm not counting on that anytime soon. I'm honestly just trying to forget about it because it still makes me sad. Every time I think about it, I'm like, man, that's like a lot of money. Maybe other people don't think that's a lot. To me, $6,400 is a lot, in my opinion. Yeah. Nick Rich. I like the name, Nick Rich. Yeah, thanks for being here. Really appreciate you. Hope you're having a nice day, Nick. Thanks for joining us. Yes. Nice. Oh, yes. Paula Noble. Thank you so much for the nice messages. Yeah, that's very kind of you. I see the birthday cakes and all the stuff like that. That's awesome. Exactly. Kevin Gallagher is also suggesting that they'll give the COLA, but then basically just take it away in the form of reducing SNAP benefits. Yeah, exactly. Dragoncraft. I see you there again. Thank you for the messages. I'm not sure if you saw or heard the shout out that I gave earlier, but yeah, again, thank you so much for the very kind messages. Dragoncraft, I really appreciate your message from earlier. That was very, very kind of you. Thank you, Dragoncraft. That was awesome. Julie and our baby girl, Bella. Are we getting our check for November? Yes. No delays. You're good. Yes, absolutely. You will get your check for November. No problem whatsoever. Yes. Julie and our baby girl, Bella. Yes. Oh, wait. Sorry. I said your name wrong. Sorry about that. Your name is actually... Oh, no, sorry. Julie and our baby girl, Bella, love to help animals. Sorry, that's your name. Yes, to answer your question, November check. Yep, you'll get it. You're good. Ellen Newth, thank you. That's very, very kind of you. Yes, I will certainly let Corey know. Yeah, thank you. That's very, very kind of you, Ellen. Yes, thank you so much for reaching out. Nice to see you, by the way. Joe Minnick. I see you there. Yes, you're funny, Joe. Mo3, nice to see you. Yes. Joe, but yes. Yep, you're funny, Joe. Thanks for being here. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Nice to have you. Martin Ortiz is asking, when are we going to get that stimulus check? We keep hearing about it. Yeah, it's a really good question. Yeah, for sure. We do keep hearing things about this as well. And again, is it just a talking point? Are they really going to move forward with this? In my opinion, I think timing is very, very important on this. I'm just saying, that's just my opinion about it. There's many different catalysts, as you've heard me say before in other videos, many different ways in which they could do this, as well as reasonings behind why they would do this, stuff like that. We don't know a lot of details right now, just based on the announcement out of the president a few days ago. That's just kind of what we know at the moment. I'll certainly keep you posted as we get more information. But yeah, Martin, great question. Yeah, Martin Ortiz. Oh, nice. I see Corey in the chat there a couple times. That's awesome. James, you're funny. James, you're funny. Nice. Yep. Yeah, Randall Fox, I see you there as well. Exactly. Yeah, I appreciate you reaching out. Yeah, saying you took an early retirement at 62. Yeah, it looks like you're living on a pretty, relatively lower income. Certainly more than some, but yeah, exactly. It's a rough time out there. I totally get it, right? I'm certainly not denying that for anybody out there, but yeah, I will certainly keep you updated with any new information that comes out. This is kind of what we know at the moment right here. I'll continue to be here for you, advocate on your behalf, do whatever I possibly can to help you through this. I get it. Keep those comments rolling in, the questions, anything like that. Angela Brooks, hello and happy Monday, right? Angela Brooks, I always see your comments. Thank you so much for reaching out. Appreciate you. Yes, happy Monday, Angela Brooks. Nice to have you. Thank you. Yeah, Buddy Russ. Nice to see you as well. Happy Monday. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us, Buddy Russ. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Jesse is Blaine. Yep. Okay, perfect. Let's do this. Hang on one second, everybody. Okay, maybe we should wrap it up there. But again, I'm going to do what I can, help you through this. It's going to be a super busy month here. Whenever we get those final announcements out of Social Security, things like that, again, I will continue to keep you posted every step of the way. We got a lot to talk about coming up here very, very soon, okay? But anyway, I'm just going to say this again super fast. If you're currently on Medicare, please do this for you, okay? It's not for me. It's not for your neighbor. It's not for the neighborhood squirrel, which, by the way, if you have any suggestions on how to catch a squirrel, please let me know. I'm got a little situation going on, a little red squirrel situation. Let me know if you have any ideas. Yeah. Anyway, we won't talk about that here in this video. I got a little red squirrel situation going on right now. Anyway, my point being is that if you are currently on Medicare, seriously, do this for yourself. Do not do it for the little red squirrel that I have a problem with right now. Do not do it for the neighbor dog. Don't do it for anybody else. Please do this for you. Just write that phone number down, take a picture, take a screenshot, whatever you got to do. Give them a call even right now. But as we approach annual enrollment, they are going to be absolutely 100% swamped in a good way. Okay. What that means is the more people that they have calling them, honestly, I'm going to be fair with you. They want their phone ringing like off the hook. Reason for that is, and I want their phone to be ringing off the hook too. Reason for that is, that means that seniors are taking the necessary steps to make sure that they are properly covered. I can tell you this much. My parents, they are also calling because they got their annual notice of change letter in September, their ANOC letter from their Medicare Advantage plan. They looked through it and they love their plan right now for 2025, but it is not a good fit for them anymore for 2026. They're calling, just like so many of you here in this community that are calling them, to make sure that you're properly covered. And they, again, are helping even my parents getting better plans, all kinds of things like that. Okay. So anyway, make sure to write that phone number down, take a picture. I think Corey's here. Hello.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Did you want me to be here?
Oh, yeah. I just didn't text you yet.
No, I
Okay. Anyway, Corey's here now. So
Sorry.
I'm getting kicked off. All right. Anyway, thanks for being here. Seriously, write the phone number down. And seriously, annual enrollment opens up here in a little more than a week. It's going to be nuts. And just make sure that you are properly covered. It's so incredibly important. I cannot emphasize that enough. All right. Anyway, Corey's here. She's kicking me off. All right. Anyway, please have a nice day. I'll catch you again later, everybody. Thanks again for joining me. Really appreciate this. It's awesome talking with all of you. And we'll see you again very soon. All right.